The first time she spoke to me, it wasn't in anger. It wasn't even an accusation. It was confusion. "Why did you walk away from me, human?" Her voice wasn't loud, but it carried across the docking bay of Kepler Station like a gravity wave. Conversations died. Tools paused mid-repair. A dozen species turned their heads. And every single one of them looked at me. I should start earlier. 3 months earlier, humanity had celebrated what we called the Contact Era. An alien exploratory coalition, 5 species bound by trade and research treaties, entered our solar system not as conquerors, but as observers. They called themselves the Lyrith Collective. We called them a miracle. They were taller, sleeker, older. Their technology turned vacuum into fuel and sunlight into matter. Their ships didn't glide through space, they folded it. I was a xenolinguistics consultant assigned to Kepler Station, Earth's primary orbital exchange platform. My job was simple: learn, translate, build bridges. Her name was Viral. She was not Lyrith by species, though she traveled with them. She belonged to a race called the Kareth, bioluminescent humanoids with elongated forms, silver-blue skin, and eyes like liquid starlight. Their presence was magnetic, without effort. Viral was different even among them. Where other Kareth moved with calculated grace, she moved with curiosity. Where they measured conversations like negotiations, she treated them like discoveries. The first time we spoke, she had asked about rain. "Why does your planet allow water to fall from the sky?" she asked, tilting her head as if Earth were an experimental design flaw. "It doesn't allow it," I replied. "It needs it." She considered that. Need is inefficiency. Or vulnerability. Her eyes brightened faintly at that. We began talking regularly after that. About Earth's oceans. About Kareth star-forging rituals. About music. She loved human music. Said it was chaotic. Said it felt alive. I started to notice the way she leaned closer when I explained something. The way her glow intensified when she laughed. Yes, she laughed, though the sound was softer than ours. And I noticed something else. The way other Kareth watched us. Carefully. There were rules among their kind. Emotional attachments outside structured alliances were rare. Cultural integration required approval. And I was just a human. One evening, on the observation deck overlooking Earth's crescent horizon, she stood beside me in silence. "You feel small," she observed. "Compared to you?" "Compared to the universe." I smiled faintly. "Yeah." She stepped closer. "You should not." Her hand brushed mine, light, curious, deliberate. And that was the moment I walked away. Not because I didn't feel it, but because I did. The political implications were obvious. The collective was still evaluating humanity. Any suggestion of emotional entanglement could be interpreted as manipulation or weakness. So I withdrew. I requested reassignment to surface research in South America. I stopped answering her messages. I told myself it was for Earth. I told myself it was smart. I told myself she would understand. I was wrong. Middle. The day she followed me to Earth began with a storm. Real rain. Heavy, pounding, unapologetic. I was working in a coastal research facility near Recife, studying atmospheric compatibility shifts after Lyrith terraforming probes began sampling our oceans. I hadn't seen Viral in 6 weeks. Hadn't heard her voice. Hadn't allowed myself to think about the way her glow dimmed when I avoided her last gaze on Kepler Station. The security alert came at 14:12. Unregistered atmospheric entry. Lyrith signature. Unauthorized landing. My stomach dropped. The craft that descended wasn't military. It wasn't large. It was personal. Sleek. Narrow. Silver arcs folding in on themselves as it settled into the flooded field behind the facility. Everyone inside panicked. I walked outside. Rain soaked me instantly. The craft opened with a whisper of displaced air, and she stepped out. Viral did not seem designed for storms. Water streamed down her luminous skin, dimming the light beneath. But her eyes were bright. She crossed the muddy field without hesitation, stopped 3 feet from me. The rain hammered between us, and she said it. Why did you walk away from me, human? No accusation, no anger, only hurt. The research staff watched from behind reinforced glass. I felt like the smallest man on earth. I thought it was safer, I said. For whom? For both of us. Her glow flickered sharply. You decided that alone. Yes. Without consulting me. Yes. She stepped closer, rain evaporating faintly against her skin. You assume I am fragile? No. You assume my species would forbid choice. Yes. Her expression tightened. We are not prisoners of tradition. Your people were watching us. They were observing. They disapprove of emotional entanglement. They disapprove of imbalance. The rain softened. Her voice lowered. Do you know why I touched your hand that night? Because you were curious. Because I was choosing. The word struck hard. Choosing. You walked away, she continued, before I could finish. I had no defense left. I was afraid, I admitted, of me, of what it would mean. For Earth. For you. Silence stretched between us. The storm began to break. Clouds thinned. Sunlight cut through gray. She reached out again. Slower this time. I followed you because unfinished choices disturb me. You traveled across interstellar space for closure? Her glow intensified slightly. I traveled because I did not want your last memory of me to be a retreat. The research team's comm devices buzzed frantically. Governments were already contacting the facility. Unauthorized alien arrival was not small news. You're causing an incident, I said quietly. Yes. And you don't care? I care about resolution. Her honesty was devastating. Viral, if this becomes public. It will. Your collective. They're aware. I blinked. They allowed this? They are observing. Of course they were. She stepped even closer. Rainwater dripped from her chin. You walked away, without asking me if I admired you. I swallowed. Do you? Her gaze didn't waver. Yes. The word carried no hesitation. You are inefficient, she continued softly. Emotionally volatile. Short-lived. Reckless. Thank you. But you are brave in ways my species rarely is. How? You feel intensely. You choose despite uncertainty. She tilted her head. You walked away because you believed it protected us. Yes. That is admirable. My chest tightened. But protection without communication is abandonment, she said. And that hurt more than accusation. You're right, I admitted. I know. The sun fully broke through then, lighting the soaked field in gold. Human security forces began arriving in the distance. Helicopters. Drones. The world was watching now. You cannot remain here, I said. I do not intend to. Then why come? She stepped within arm's reach. Because I needed to ask you something face to face. I waited. Her voice softened again. If I do not walk away this time, will you? The question held everything. Fear, hope, choice. I looked past her to the horizon where ocean met sky. Earth was loud, messy, political, but it was mine. And she had crossed galaxies to stand in its reign. No, I said. Her glow surged bright enough that the security drones hesitated mid-flight. I will not walk away. Escalation. The political fallout was immediate. Global news exploded. Alien woman lands on Earth. Unauthorized contact. Human aliens romantic entanglement? The Lyrith Collective issued a calm statement. The Kareth representative virile acts within her autonomy. Autonomy. A powerful word. Earth's governments were divided. Some saw opportunity. Others saw manipulation. She remained at the coastal facility under negotiated diplomatic protection. We spoke for hours. About fear. About choice. About the future. I do not wish to claim you, she said one night, standing beside the ocean. I wish to stand beside you. That's not how empires see things. My species is not an empire. Neither is Earth. Then perhaps we are uniquely unsuited to conquest. I laughed softly. The tension between our worlds grew, but so did something else. Public fascination turned to cautious admiration. Human media broadcast images of virile walking through rain, listening to children, studying coral reefs with visible wonder. She did not behave like a conqueror. She behaved like a visitor who wanted to understand. And slowly, fear softened. The Lyrith Collective proposed something unprecedented. A permanent Kareth cultural envoy stationed on Earth. Virile volunteered. Not for me. For Earth. For unfinished choices, she told me. The vote passed. But one final obstacle remained. The Kareth High Circle required confirmation of intent. Not marriage. Not union. But clarity. They transmitted directly to our facility. A shimmering projection of Elder Kareth filled the chamber. Virile, one intoned. Have you compromised your species? No. Have you allowed emotion to override duty? No. Have you chosen attachment over collective stability? She glanced at me. I have chosen expansion. The elder's gaze shifted to me. Human. Why did you walk away? The room fell silent. Because I was afraid of hurting her. And now, I'm more afraid of hurting her by leaving. Silence. Long. Measured. Finally. Then neither of you walk alone. The transmission ended. Authorization granted. Ending. Months later, Virile stood beside me on the same coastal field where she had landed. This time under clear skies. A joint Earth, Kareth Cultural Center rose behind us, built with combined technology and human labor. Children ran across the grass, human and alien exchange students learning each other's languages. You changed more than you intended, I said. You walked away more than you should have, she replied gently. I smiled. Fair. She turned to face me fully. When I asked you why you walked away, I did not want apology. What did you want? Understanding. And now, she stepped closer. I want partnership, not possession, not dominance. Partnership. I can do that, I said. Her hand found mine again, this time without rain, without fear. And the glow that pulsed through her skin did not feel alien anymore. It felt familiar. Extended final closing scene. Years passed. Earth and the Kareth did not merge. They did not conquer each other. They collaborated. Trade expanded. Research deepened. Cultural exchange flourished. Interstellar travel programs included human crews. Kareth scientists studied Earth's unpredictable ecosystems with fascination. And Virile? She became known not as the alien who followed a man, but as the envoy who crossed stars for choice. The phrase became symbolic. Choice over fear. Communication over assumption. Standing instead of walking away. Sometimes, when storms roll over the coast and rain pounds against the cultural center's transparent walls, she stands beside the window watching water fall from the sky. You still think this is inefficient? I ask. She smiles faintly. Yes. Then why do you like it? Because it falls without permission, she says softly. And yet it sustains life. Then she turns to me, luminous in reflected lightning. Why did you walk away from me, human? And I answer the only way that matters now. I don't. Not anymore. And as Earth's sky darkens and stars emerge, some belonging to her home, some to mine, we stand together beneath them. Not as experiment, not as scandal, but as proof that even across galaxies, admiration is not weakness. Following someone is not surrender. And sometimes the bravest thing a human can do is stop walking away.